Hey everyone, it's Alex and Marta here from Metal Master Kingdom, and welcome to another episode of Virtual Chats. And today on the show, we're pleased to welcome Kerim Lechner, but better known as Krimh, to the show. So, Krimh, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We're really appreciative of your time. So, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Where are you located right now? Are you in Austria?
Yes, I'm in Austria.
Nice. How's the weather over there?
Honestly, we are about to hit 30 degrees on this weekend, which is extremely hot for this season. So
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know Fahrenheit, but yeah, degrees, 30 degrees is summertime temperature.
yeah.
So it's pretty insane. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna stay inside in the shade because, with my white skin, I will get sunburned easily.
That's good. That's good. I mean, where we're based here in Canada, it's 10 right now, 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
So we got to wait a little bit more until we get 20 degrees, 30 degrees.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, you're about to escape the 30-degree weather and jump into like the tens or whatever, because tour's coming up with Decapitated, Septicflesh, and Cataclysm. That's starting in a couple of weeks. So how did this tour package come about?
That's true, and I'm really happy that we finally come back to North America because for us, it's our first tour since 2019. So yeah, everything like in the States, so
Yeah.
or like in North America, because it was just the whole COVID situation, and then afterwards the inflation was really an issue for us. We were planning to have a tour last year, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So we're really looking forward to this one. And in my opinion, it's a very strong package. Especially for me, it's gonna be interesting because maybe you know that I used to play in Decapitated for some time. So it's a bunch of my buddies, being together in the tour bus. It's gonna be a bit strange, but I'm really looking forward to that. And it's a cool package because all of us play death metal, but we play differently. We have technical death metal from Decapitated, Septicflesh, having this, of course, symphonic aspect to it. Cataclysm also has some, like death metal and hardcore influences, and we also have Legions, which are really like a strong, more modern approach to death metal, a band that is with us. So I feel like it's a great package, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Martha?
So I actually have a question stemming from that, saying that even though you guys all play death metal, it's a little bit of a different style. So for you as a drummer, when you go from one band to another, do you notice that your style changes with the band, or does it remain more or less true to your own?
No, it actually does change. That's a good question because I have it whenever I have to record for different bands, like doing like session jobs or whatnot. I actually need time to get used to the material, um, because certain bands write in a specific tempo zone, and as a drummer, you use different techniques for certain tempo zones. And I definitely was a different drummer back when I played with Decapitated, compared to now with Septicflesh. Because Septicflesh is like it's more of a mix of everything. It has a lot of groovy stuff in there, a lot of mid tempos, while Decapitated was for sure faster kicks, much more double bass heavy. So yeah, it does change a bit, and yeah, it's gonna be cool to also see James Stewart, who is a phenomenal drummer, who's playing now for Decapitated, to see how he's playing some of the songs that I performed a couple of years ago.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Septic Flesh, it has a lot of also orchestral elements there, and I guess there's just something about finding a balance, right, with the drums and the orchestral and it
That's
all coming
true.
together.
Yeah, and often, I have to how to say it, like often you have percussive parts in the orchestral section and how the songs are written, and I often actually play more as a percussionist myself instead of a classic drum beat. There are a couple of songs where this happens. Neuromancer, for example, one of the songs from our latest album. In the chorus, I actually just play a bunch of war drums like floor toms and just give the orchestra and Sotiri's voice and everyone the freedom. So it is definitely a different approach. I try to also like this kind of tribal beats. Yeah. So like
Mhm.
or drums, tribal influences. This is what I would say is way more happening in Septicflesh compared to any other bands I've performed with.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say? People often know you as a metal drummer, but who would you say are like your biggest drumming influences outside of the metal realms?
Hmm. Well, difficult. I mean, I would guess some of my early influences must be John Bonham because I just grew up listening to that music. My dad is a big fan of Led Zeppelin
Yep,
and also Ian Pace, the Purple,
yep,
all those 70s, rock drummer.
right,
And even though I'm not listening to music right now, I must say that for sure they have had an influence on me.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, who else who's not playing metal? I mean, Benny Grapp or Joost Nickel are some of
yes,
the German groove drummers which I really admire for
hmm
the then what's his name, Chris Coleman, another like gospel kind
Chris
of
Coleman, yeah,
phenomenal, and Gavin Harrison, of course.
Gavin, yeah,
There's so many great drummers out there,
yeah,
but
yeah,
those are a bunch of guys where I just my jaw drops whenever they play.
absolutely. Being a drummer myself as well, like I'm heavily into those guys as well. So
Oh yeah.
I was actually going to ask you, stemming off of that question, I guess, um, if you were to choose 5 albums, and it don't have to be metal albums, that influenced you and your playing, what would they be?
Ooh, I don't know if I can say exactly five, but some of them, I'm self-taught, so I learned by just playing to my favorite music back in the day, and definitely I have to put the first two Slipknot albums, Iowa and Self-Titled. I was playing it non-stop, and I learned a lot during that. What else influenced me? I had a time where I played quite some Dream Theater stuff, um, but I don't remember the albums back in the day. So I had my phases. First was like prog stuff, and then more in alternative rock. Um, so like I was really into Tool and this kind of stuff, more complex drumming, nothing
yep,
too straightforward. Um, and then I also Incubus. I was also jamming quite a lot to Incubus
nice.
for
Incubus,
groovy stuff. So it has
nice.
always been a mix. And of course, Dimmu Borgir.
Yep,
Afterwards, Nick Barker. Death Cult Armageddon specifically.
yep,
Um, and if you check out my YouTube videos, the early stuff from 2007, and you will just see what kind of songs I chose to cover. That's basically kind of playlist of what I was listening back then and practicing also. Arch Enemy, Doomsday, I think was the album.
yep.
So yeah, it's like this kind of influences.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned Timo Borgir. We all want to send our best to Nick Barker as well. So
Absolutely, yeah.
hopefully he's doing well. And you mentioned the your YouTube channel. You do a lot of drum covers on there as well, but also some instructional stuff as well. With the covers, I'm curious to know like how long does the process take? Because you got to film the song with all the different angles, and you got to edit the videos together. And how do you balance that time out with recording and touring and getting all those videos together?
Yeah, it is definitely quite time consuming because you also have to calculate. I have to learn the song, which
Yeah,
takes not only learn it but practice it. And I usually take songs which are not so easy, so I will need time to learn the song, and then it will take, let's say, a week or two at least to just play the song over and over again. And most of the YouTube videos or covers I do are in my spare time. So I have some videos on my hard drive ready for upload, which I've recorded maybe a year ago. So right now it's pretty busy with like recording sessions and tours and shows and giving lessons. So recently haven't had the chance to record too many videos, but this is how I would usually do it. Plus, I don't really have a specific schedule. Like I don't stress myself if I cannot upload anything on YouTube, then people have to wait. I don't care about the algorithm anymore. It's stressful enough. It's
yeah,
more
yeah,
Yeah, very true, very true.
yeah, it's for me and for like fan pleasing, of course, but there's only one Krimh, and the day only has 24 hours.
Yep.
So believe me, I'm not lazy, but
Hmm.
yeah, I have to do everything myself. So to come back to your question, yeah, like from the moment of recording, so I will probably prepare the drum set and all the cameras and lighting a day before. It takes a couple of hours, tune everything. Then I record in the mornings on the next day. I would probably do like something between 5 to 10 takes, and then I go through all the files, and then I need a full day of editing. Then I send the stuff over to a friend of mine to mix the drums properly because I'm not really that good with the audio stuff. But
Hmm.
all the video editing I do myself. So yeah,
Amazing.
it's quite a lot of work that goes into that, and so that's why I cannot always do that. It's not something you do just like this. You have to plan it a bit better.
Yeah. Well, while staying on the topic of YouTube, real quick, one question that I definitely wanted to ask regarding all that is because there are so many YouTubers and content creators that when they use music from other bands, they're immediately getting flagged or like blocked from the labels. For you, when you like upload a video with certain songs, do you have to get clearance from the labels, or how does that work for you if you're like making money off the videos?
I'm not making not really money out of the videos, so I'm not asking any labor for the monetization permission. So
Right.
it's like I rather try to also choose um, songs from labels where I know, like Nuclear Blast, for example, which I will not have a copy strike because that would be the worst.
Yeah.
Um, I'm fine with the fact that I don't earn money. So a lot of people think that okay, he must have a lot of cash coming in from like
Yeah.
1,000 subs, but honestly, it's nothing because of course you cannot monetize those songs. So
Yeah.
me, that's fine. The worst would be if I get a copyright like flagged,
Yeah.
which hasn't happened in the past. I know that some labels are a bit more strict than some artists, and I try to avoid that, to be
Yeah.
honest. But the stuff I like to play or cover is anyways not such a mainstream music where I would see this becoming a problem, to be
Yeah.
honest. So yeah, I'm not getting rich out of YouTube, not at all. That's again, it's just because I have done that all those years, and it kind of was for me the leading into the business. I was one of the first YouTube drummers. I started back in 2007, where YouTube was like just starting to kind of,
Starting out.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so yeah, it's just nice to keep going. I feel like it's a good platform, even though it has changed a lot compared to the past.
Yeah.
So I use it for, yeah, just content creation.
Yeah, for sure. And that you do great at everything that you do, and it clearly shows with the quality of your videos. So keep it up, man.
I will try.
Yeah, yeah. Marta?
You mentioned you were one of the ones to start with the YouTube drumming thing. And between that and playing live, like if you had to choose, what would you choose?
Live, 100%,
Of
definitely.
course,
Yep.
makes
Um,
sense. And what's your favorite part about playing live?
uh, it's it's the connection between the fans and the energy that cannot be recreated by anything else. I realized that during the whole COVID situation. Of course, everyone was missing live shows, but once we started to play again, a couple of shows after this whole crap, I understood how much of a difference it is. You can practice on your own. You can even do like live live stream concert, but it's not the same. There's
Yeah.
something on the stage that happens when you feel the sound and you see the people react to your music and give you energy, and it goes back and forward.
Yep.
So even though I enjoy making videos, I enjoy also being in the studio recording because it's a different thing. But playing live, I understood this during this whole COVID pandemic that this is actually what I want to do. What I want to do, play live. This is
Yeah.
the reason why I became a musician.
Yeah. I think we all share the same feelings about it as well. So
Yeah.
one thing that we like to do with the guests that we have is we like to have a little bit of fun and ask some fun fun questions here and there. Are you familiar with this like game people play called This or That?
No, it's not so common here in Europe. No.
Okay, well, basically we just name like two or three
Ah,
things
okay,
of like
okay.
a
This is
different thing, and then you have to pick
yeah,
one, right?
okay, yeah. Now I know what it is. Yeah.
So, Martha, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, absolutely. So my question is, what do you like playing more, festivals or these tour packages?
Tour packages,
Fruits or vegetables?
vegetables,
Nice.
Ooh. Do
Um,
you prefer CD, vinyl, or cassette?
CD,
yep.
Okay.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
morning. So for me, I'm like
Oof.
I usually sleep at that hour. Morning, definitely.
There you go. Italian, Mexican, or Asian cuisine?
Ooh.
Week.
What's that?
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I say Greek.
Um, chicken or fish?
Oh, fish.
Nice. Summer or winter?
Winter, 100%.
Okay, nice. Um, I actually, Marta had one question that regarding your favorite place to play live.
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, when you go on tour, what's the place that you love to visit the most?
Hmm. Also not an easy question because I've experienced a lot of amazing energetic audience, you know. So, but definitely Latin America is a spot where people go really nuts. So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Absolutely. I think
it's always
we all share that same feeling
yeah.
with the Latin American audiences.
But you know, it really depends. As I said, I had everywhere amazing people. Sometimes where you don't expect it, like Netherlands, where people have all shows coming through and might be sometimes more seen as like stiff people. But I had some crazy shows there. You know, it's really hard to say. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. And one more regarding the this or that. Do you prefer action movies, comedy, or documentaries?
documentary.
Okay. Well, what are your favorite type of documentaries?
Everything where I can learn something, you know, is something about definitely deep sea stuff, everything about the ocean, everything about deep space,
So
volcanoes.
David Attenborough, Blue
Yeah, exactly.
Planets kind of
Animals,
thing. Yeah.
everything, everything about animals because I feel like it's super fascinating
Yep.
what creatures are crawling on this earth and swimming in our oceans and what special features they have. So you know this kind of stuff. I'm not so into like murder documentation and this kind of stuff sometimes, but I actually want to learn something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Speaking of the ocean, this just kind of like popped in my head, a random question. Did you ever see that video? The ocean is way deeper than you think.
No, I haven't seen that.
If you want to see like a really good ocean related video on just how deep the ocean actually is,
Well,
check
it's very
check that
okay.
video out. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I think my favorite part about all those animal documentaries is that not only do you get to learn how much like we have on Earth, but also you get to see how much we still don't know, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, and especially for deep sea stuff, we know nothing. We know more about the
Exactly.
moon
Yep.
compared there to this area of this world. And yeah, so that's why I found it super fascinating. And there are not a lot of documentaries or YouTube videos out there about that. So
Yep.
whenever I find something that is really, you know, like someone took a submarine going down there, I'm like, oh, I have to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like especially also those ones where they discovered the warships that sunk.
Mm,
There's the one that they did about Bismarck and do the Titanic and all that. Those are super fascinating.
absolutely. There's a
Yeah,
lot of stuff they haven't discovered yet, even though all
absolutely.
those shipwrecks are a pretty big problem because you know they start to rust away with all the oil and fuel and explosives and chemicals inside. So it's just ticking bombs, literally.
Yeah, for sure. I think we just got like maybe one or two more questions left, then we'll let you go. Marta, did you want to finish it off?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. It's been a couple years since the latest album, Modern Primitive, that came out in 2022. Is there new material right now in the works with Septic Flesh?
Not yet, but we are planning to start soon because some of the material that was on Modern Primitive has been written before 2020, um, and so we definitely want to start slowly, starting the engines to get more ideas. But for us, that album has been released still during difficult times, and we haven't had really the chance to tour with it. So
Yeah.
even though the album is not the newest, we haven't had the chance to present it. We had the one European tour. We're gonna have our first US tour now
Yep.
to show this album, and then we have another European run this year. So yeah, things are a bit slower for us now. It's the first year that we are kind of feeling coming back to some normality in the sense of we have a US tour and we have a European tour and we have some summer festivals. So yeah, but definitely we'll have to start soon writing some new stuff.
Absolutely. Well, Krimh, we just want to say once again, thank you very much for giving us your time. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and
Thank
we wish you well with the upcoming tour in North America and all the festivals and the European tour coming up. And we'll actually see you at the date in Toronto coming up on the tour.
Perfect. So we're gonna have a chat there.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All
Yeah.
right,
Thank
man.
you very much. Take care,
All right.
guys.
All the best. We'll see you
Take
soon.
care.
Take care.
Bye.
Amen. Bye.
And bye.